Jack Dorsey, one of the most controversial figures in the Social Network's Founders League, is aiming to become the new Alfred Nobel. The Swedish scientist invented dynamite back in 1867, which brought both comfort and damage to humanity, just like Jack's created social media network Twitter. Jack believes that if he can help Bitcoin gain mass adoption, it could bring world peace. Could he manage to execute such an ambitious vision? And how did Jack come to this place in his mind anyway? In this special Crypto Owl series, we tell short stories about the most prominent crypto community members and the path towards their dreams. But first, some childhood stories. Jack Dorsey was born in Missouri, US, 1976, in a Catholic middle-class family. In his speech for Stanford students, Jack reveals how the idea for Twitter probably started with his interest in cities.
Twitter started because I had this fascination with cities. I had this obsession with what was happening around the street corners in St. Louis, Missouri that I wasn't present at.
When he was a teenager, Jack often listened to his parents' police scanner at home and constantly heard various ambulances, police, and fire trucks around the city. His parents bought the Macintosh for him when he was 8 years old. Being 14, he developed an open-source software of dispatch logistics, which is still used by some taxicab companies today. Jack was not a very good student at his university. He dropped out twice, once from Missouri University and another time from New York University, and gained no degree in his life. But he found other ways to move in his professional life. Inspired by a Russian blog writing service and instant messaging on mobile phones, Dorsey thought of Twitter. Jack found a hole in a podcast publisher's audio database and sent a message with an offer to fix it. Moreover, he offered to build a prototype of Twitter, with the condition that they hired him. And they did. In 2006, after about 2 weeks of development, Jack posted his very first message on Twitter. Years later, in 2020, Jack created an NFT from it and sold it to a blockchain entrepreneur for $2.9 million. Today, its value has dropped sharply because an NFT without liquidity is worth only as much as someone bids. People don't find it more valuable than a few thousands of dollars. And Jack, after a little NFT test, shifted his attention away to something with potentially way bigger impact.
Liberation technologies should be invested in, not shorted. And for those comfortable in the dollar bubble, it's time to check your financial privilege.
At 33, just as Christ, Jack gave himself a second life. In November 2019, Jack took a month-long trip to Africa. The trip included stops in Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. He met with local entrepreneurs. Many were building companies focused on Bitcoin. That amazed and inspired him. And Jack was convinced that Bitcoin could change the financial systems on the continent. He started tweeting about the currency nonstop. Even before going to Africa, Jack also started reading about indigenous people's history of the United States. In the book, the author describes the US as a colonialist settler state, one that, like the colonialist European states, crushed and subjugated the original civilization in the territories it now rules. Jack turned his desire to do a different thing, bring more of the opportunities for developing countries in Africa to succeed. Before leaving Africa, Jack made plans to visit again and stay for a longer time. However, the pandemic shifted everything. To make matters worse, on October 23, 2019, Twitter's stock price fell by nearly 24%. The reason for that was an earning miss off a third quarter report. It happened after Jack announced that as of November 22, 2019, Twitter would ban all political advertising globally. After all, Twitter received a lot of backlash on not taking enough responsibility for handling sensitive or political content. It had to take measures. Stocks went up and down as Jack experienced success and failure during the pandemic and US elections. Even though he managed to keep his job, his attention got more divided day by day among his founded Square, now Block, an electronic payments processing hardware company, Cash App, a payment service that was, by the way, a flop in the beginning, but today has 44 million monthly users, and managing Twitter. In the Twitter board, the founder of Elliott Management, Singer, was known for taking stakes in public companies and then pushing for sweeping management changes. And so he did try to sweep away Jack. At first, he failed. But eventually, he wore Jack down so much that he resigned on November 29, 2021. Why did he make this decision? Some people who know him claim that Jack simply did not want to worry anymore about a bad quarter leading to another offense on his job. In a letter to Twitter's employees, he revealed that he wanted to break away from its founding and founders. But what was Jack to do next? he actually did have a plan in mind.
I don't think there's anything more important in my lifetime to work on, and I don't think there's anything more enabling for people around the world.
Jack tweeted that Block will be officially building an open Bitcoin mining system. Block is using Bitcoin in almost every one of its business units. The company is building technology that would help give up dollars and turn them into Bitcoin. To be precise, the main work will be about working on Bitcoin mining chips and creating easy-mine hardware wallets so people can store their Bitcoin safely offline. Moreover, Jack wants to build a Bitcoin mine in Texas using renewable energy, his comrade Elon Musk's solar power panels. Jack takes the blame for adding his part to the centralized internet there is today. He also does not think Web3 should be owned by someone. These are views shared with Elon, who hates Twitter's speech rules so much that he suggested building a new service while simultaneously grabbing billions of dollars in the company's stock. An ugly fight over Twitter's future continues. But Jack's key mission goals remain. There are some mind-blowing crypto ideas he would love to fulfill. To his belief, Bitcoin mining would be distributed to everyone and accessible to any human being on their smartphone or laptop. Right now, it seems unthinkable as mining requires huge mining pools and lots of electricity. So he gets to his second point that to solve this problem, mining needs to be more efficient. Block plans to work on new generation infrastructure for Bitcoin. Actually, Intel recently released new Bitcoin mining chips oriented to sustainability, and Block will be among the first companies who buy them. Jack actively tries to involve community members in this challenging goal. Can he and his team succeed? Together with Jay-Z, Jack invested 500 Bitcoin to its ecosystem growth in Africa and India. And he does not invest in any other cryptocurrencies. He is a Bitcoin maximalist. The man realizes the collective mistakes of the internet makers and actively tries to involve the whole world to what he believes will replace fiat currencies. Do you think Jack and his teams will triumph? Can he bring world peace with Bitcoin? If you like this episode of the Crypto Personality Series, like the video, subscribe to Crypto Al, and keep looking forward to more animated short summaries.